It's a good fine, actually. So it's like that. Oh. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
You're fine. Nothing.
There it is. Okay, good evening and welcome to the regular council meeting for Augusta Township. I will now call this meeting to order. Councillor Henry sends your regrets. So I see Councillor Bowman here too. So first we have the land acknowledgement statement. And you guys decide who was, okay, Councillor Bowman.
Augusta Township acknowledges that we live and work on ancestral territories to the indigenous peoples. The township recognizes all indigenous people and honor their past, present, and future. The township values and respects their culture, heritage, and relationship to the land.
Great, thank you. So the mayor's remarks, first of all, Business of the Year Awards on last Friday, breakfast. It was excellent. I think we had 105, anyway, close to that in attendance. I think everybody had a good time. The recipients were happy with the nominations and the winners. Doing a press release on that today. And no, it went very well. I think everybody enjoyed the guest speaker. And as I think Councillor Pape said, a lot of electricity in the air. So
Yeah.
anyway, it was good. Once again, I thank the Economic Development Committee and especially the staff. The staff did a lot of work. We thank you for that. So anyway, it's good. We don't do too many of them, but Friday morning was really nice. Next, Spirit of Giving. We did that, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Saturday morning, and Independent Rallies, Independent Grocer, and there was a little bit of competition between Edwards Cardinal Prescott and Miss Judy Bree came in, I guess this week, or no, last week, and presented us with the as first place. So for getting the most amount of money towards the Spirit of Giving. So thank you very much, everybody. It was cold that day, so thank you very much for that too. It was only 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but the wind was blowing, so anyway. So we still have, coming up is the food drive, South Grenville Food Bank Drive. I'm not sure the date on that, but we'll publish that, I imagine, in the next couple of days, so.
Yeah.
Quarterly, Willow's done a great job telling everybody she wants her piece and get it in there. It's cover the winter season, but really anything. And the one thing I'm thinking of, I'll just touch base on it now, is, for example, we had the first storm yesterday, you might say, of the winter. And of course, we always get complaints and everything else. We had one resident, they complained, but talk about it at the meeting tonight. Sorry, residents don't tell us what to talk about at the meeting. So anyway, if they're concerned, they can come to a delegation. But I will touch base and I ask our public works manager, maybe two things. Couple of paragraphs, maybe on one, when we grade roads, because I know that's a concern, especially in the sixth concession and so on, where there's no paved roads. And the other one is just the rules we follow during winter plowing. Now, and again, we know when to come on the roads, we know what to put on the roads. And there's a policy, a Ontario government policy set by MTO. And especially when a storm happens, they're telling you, stay off the roads. The emergency vehicles will know. They will get through because they coordinate with the municipalities. So, if you're concerned about being on the road, stay off the road during the storm. That's our best advice. And let the people that do the job. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that because we're really not going to talk about anything on roads tonight. I just want to mention too, and I don't know if I did last meeting, was the glass cabinet out in the foyer there. Again, the kids from Maynard Public School dressed it up as autumn. They do a great job, so I expect something will come soon with the winter season, but, it's nice to see them there. I know today they were looking for, trinkets and knickknacks and everything else. My wife took 2 big boxes of stuff over to Maynard School. And what they're using it for is so the kids can actually purchase, items for their parents or their siblings or whatever for Christmas. So I don't know if they actually purchase it or not, but anyway, so it's a good thought. So I know they put it on, Facebook that they were kind of desperate for stuff, so, anyway, if you got something laying around the house, that's, you can take over there, they're happy to have them. Yesterday we did the Remembrance Ceremony at Maynard. Turned out, due to the weather, I think more than anything else. And they had a bit of a problem with the sound system. So, but they went through, you know, we all did our thing and like we do every other year. So, it was cool there too. So tomorrow we have the, North Augusta. And, also yesterday, after Remembrance Day, after the Remembrance Ceremony, we went to North Augusta and we had, Elmer's wife Patty had her 70th birthday. So we presented her with a scroll there. And, I left early after I paid my respects, but there many more people come because it was kind of,
Yeah, still more.
it was good, come to good. Okay. She was quite delighted and, anyway, she was, you know, she was really happy. So that's best to her. And that's about all I had. So we'll continue with the regular meeting. So next we have the approval agenda. So be resolved, I'll read the motion, be resolved, the council agenda for November 10th, 2025 be adopted. Does Deputy Mayor, will you move? Will you move the motion?
Yes, I will.
Counselor Bowman, you second the motion?
Yep.
Okay, is there any changes, any additions to the agenda? I see nothing, I call the question, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Next, we have disclosure of interest and nature thereof. Does any member of council wish to disclose any pecuniary interest or nature thereof? Again, I see nothing. The approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, public meeting minutes, October 14th, 2025. Being resolved, the council approved the minutes of the October 14th, 2025 public meeting as distributed to all members. Councilor Bowman, will you move the motion?
I will.
Councilor Pink, will you second the motion?
I will.
Okay, any changes, any discussion? Not, I call the question, all in favor? Carried. Yeah. Next is business arising from the minutes. I have one. Councilor Payne would like to speak to the motion. So, select respect pledge, Councilor Payne.
Thanks, your worship. So this came in one of our info packages a few months back, I think during the summer. And I figured it'd be appropriate to bring it up at this time of year because we are a year from our next election. And really what it speaks to, kind of in a quick summary, is it's a pledge that we make that we basically ensure that everybody on council, staff are treated with respect, so that they are not intimidated, whether it's online or in person. We all know how social media can get. And fortunately, it seems to affect the women more than it does the men. Maybe not so much here, but I can't speak for my fellow counselors, what they get on the receiving end. So it's a pledge that was started in southwestern Ontario, it's kind of the Kitchener area. And so it's a symbolic gesture. And I think with, you know, an election coming up, I don't want to make it so that we need to kind of turn the page on the rhetoric that's been going on the last several years and make it a little bit more inviting for people who are interested in not just running for council, but possibly even working for a municipality, because I don't think it's easy for everybody.
Okay, good. Any other comments? Now, I realize in this resolution that came through to us, the only thing I'm not concerned, but it says, the council, corporation, and township of Augusta calls on elected officials, organizations, and community members to support the Elect Respect campaign and sign the online pledge at www.electrorespect.ca.
So I think that would be optional if they wanted to sign the pledge. I think just if we make a verbal pledge, I have signed it. I think it would be optional if anybody else actually wanted to sign it, but, I think to make the statement would suffice, and anybody that wants to actually go in and sign it can do so.
Councilors? Okay. So, Councilor Pate, will you move? Sorry.
Sorry, through you, Mayor, would Councillor Chief like to read the motion again for everybody to?
Sure, I can. I have it here from.
I know.
Okay. This is a long one.
Well, that's what
All right, so whereas democracy is healthy when everybody is able to participate fully and safely and contribute to the well-being of their community. And whereas we are witnessing the dissolution of democratic discourse and respectful debate across all levels of government and in neighboring jurisdictions. And whereas Ontario's municipally elected officials are dealing with increasingly hostile, unsafe work environments facing threats and harassment. And whereas social media platforms have exacerbated disrespectful dialogue, negative commentary, and toxic engagement with disincentivized individuals, especially women and candidates from diverse backgrounds, from running for office. And whereas better decisions are made when democracy is respectful and constructive, and the voices of diverse genders, identities, ethnicities, races, sexual orientation, ages, and abilities are heard and represented around municipal council tables. And whereas the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's Healthy Democracy Project has identified concerning trends with fewer people voting in local elections as well as running for municipal office. And whereas in 2024, female elected representatives from across Halton region formed a group called HER, Halton Elected Representatives, which pledged to speak out against harassment and negativity in politics and call on elected officials to uphold the highest standards of conduct. And whereas HER, Halton, has launched a campaign called Elect Respect to promote the importance of healthy democracy and safe, inclusive work environments for all elected officials that encourages individuals to participate in the political process. And whereas on June the 5th, 2025, the Canadian Association of Feminist Parliamentarians launched a nonpartisan parliamentary civility pledge to encourage all parliamentarians to commit to end workplace harassment and increase civility on Parliament Hill, modeled after the pledge developed and halted by representatives of HER. Now therefore be it resolved that Council of the Corporation of the Township of Augusta supports the Elect Respect pledge and commits to treat others with respect in all places, public, private, and online, reject and call out harassment, abuse, and personal attacks, focus debate on ideas and policies, not personal attacks, help build a supportive culture where people of all backgrounds feel safe to run and hold office, and call on relevant authorities to ensure protection of elected officials who face abuse or threats, and to model integrity and respect by holding one another to the highest conduct standards. And that the Council of the Corporation of Augusta calls on elected officials, organizations, and community members to support the Elect Respect campaign and sign the online pledge at electrorespect.ca. And that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, Ontario's Big City Mayors, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, the Office of the Mayor of Burlington, MP Michael Barrett, and MPP Steve Clark, and all other municipalities in Leeds and Grenville.
Okay. So Deputy Mayor, will you second the motion?
I will.
Yeah, to call the vote, in favor? Carried. Good. Okay, next we have some good news, delegations, presentations. So in our midst, we have Mr. Purcell. Thank you, Brian, for coming tonight. Brian's 2 weeks time, I think, or a week and a half time, the summit. and Keppel, who presented with the Bill Fake Memorial Award. It's quite a nice reward, and I know, well, Brian sits on our planning committee. He's also sits on our police services board, although he doesn't, you know, I was gonna say he doesn't live, but he does live in Augusta Township. But he spends a lot of time with his business and everything else in the Spencerville, Edwardsburg, Cardinal area. But he helps do work on the mill. It doesn't matter where, he's just an overall good citizen and he's helping everybody. So he's just that type of guy. So Brian, I want to thank you for coming tonight, but come on up, get your picture taken, we'll present you with this. We had to do our thing. We won't be able to be on the big stage, you know, so I get council up too.
Had enough pictures already, Brian, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, we just wanted to do something.
Thank you very much.
Picture always right.
It's a pleasure to know you. You gonna say a few words?
Well, I don't do anything to get any awards or recognition. I just like what I do, and I just get involved because if nobody got involved, then things don't get done. So that like to be involved and have a little input on how things go. So
You've been doing a great
Thank you.
job on our side. Thank you very much.
thank you. I do have to go for a.
You're gonna leave it. Oh, you're gonna leave it tonight.
Thanks again.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Okay, correspondence petitions, resolution of support, reference Interior Community Infrastructure Fund. This is one that Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal put forward. So, and we do have motions drafted up for that. I'm not sure if, did they see that? I guess, is it in?
So through you, Mayor, the original resolutions were included in the agenda.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was asking, sorry. Yeah, there it is there. See, let me see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Council Bowman, would you move the motion?
Yes,
Deputy Mayor Winans, you second the motion? I will. Any comments? On the motion? Yes.
There's lacking infrastructure money, so this is a good thing if we can get this fund.
Yeah, and I think the thing is the fear of it's slowly being, downsized each year, so you don't speak up now. It's going to keep going that way, I think. So that was the fear that's behind all this, so. And we just want them to know, hey, we're still here. We need that money. Okay, I'll call a question. Sorry. So be resolved, the Council of the Corporation Township of Augusta supports the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal resolution regarding Interior Community Infrastructure Fund, OCIF, and that this supporting resolution and original correspondence be circulated, to Premier, Minister of Infrastructure, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Minister of Finance, MPP Clark, A&B, OSOM, at the FCM, and all municipalities in Lee and Granville. I'll call the question, all in favor? Carry. Yes. Next, we have 9.2, resolution of support, reference to creation of St. Lawrence Regional Energy Task Force. And this was put out by the city of Brockville. And, again, I'll read the motion. Be resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Augusta supports the city of Rockville resolution regarding the creation of St. Lawrence Region Energy Task Force, and that the supporting resolution and original correspondence be circulated to the Minister of Energy and Mines, Associate Minister of Energy / Intensive Industries, MPP Clark, the Independent Electricity System Operator, ISO, the Ontario Energy Board, OEB, the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville, the Association of Municipalities in Ontario, the Association of Municipal Managers, Clerks, and Treasurers of Ontario, and all the municipalities in Leeds and Grenville. So, Councillor Beaumont, do you move the motion?
I will.
Councillor Payne, do you second the motion?
I will.
Okay, any discussion? Yeah,
I mean, this is another thing that we really need, to the government to figure out how to get hydro in this area, because that's the one thing that's stopping industry from coming here. And if we had available hydro, the international company that was looking at moving in here, they may have signed if the hydro was right there. But when they had to start looking at 5 years to bring hydro in and $100 million, that held them back. And then all of a sudden Trump come in, and then that was a killer.
Yeah.
So, but we may have had them sign if the hydro was right here.
Yeah, anybody else? No, agree. Okay, a couple questions. All in favor? Carried. Okay, committee reports. We're moving on to, so, the county's joint services. Was an exciting day that I missed. I had a medical appointment, myself, and Mayor Scott of Athens. The number is not there. They had, protesters outside. They had a full gallery, people standing in it. And, anyway, the original vote they took was a weighted vote. Showed that basically it was denied, so they weren't going to approve the extension of funds. But then one of the mayors brought up the point that 2 mayors were missing, and that the total is different. So they did the vote again, and it turned out it was in favor of it being passed. So, so as far as joint services, they will recommend that the vote, when it comes to the county's council, which is probably next week, that the extension of $350,000 go to the Cooperative Care Center. So I'm gonna be careful with my comments on this, sitting as a counselor. All I can tell people is, and same as what I am, when I sit there, we take our recommendations from staff. And if the residents of the United Counties, if they watch the videos, they're taped, all the council meetings are taped. And if they listen to what staff is saying, there's not a problem. But the issue is, in my eyes, they're not doing that. The public, somebody's got the public all wound up, so. Anyway, that's all I can say there, but, I think the staff did a great job. I think the report is right. And anyway, that's all I can say. Next we had a planning committee. The next day, and the gallery was full again, this time of farmers. Which were, again, standing room only. And, had to do with the agricultural area review. Of course, there's still 3 municipalities that are not totally happy with the review. That's Elizabethtown Kidley, that's municipality of North Granville, and Edwardsburg Cardinal. Augusta is happy with the review. We had no one in there in the gallery. So that was confirmation that to me, that our residents are happy with it. I think Melissa and our planning department did a great job. So anyway, nothing was really, it was deferred, so nothing was really decided. So I guess there's gonna be another meeting sometime in the future. And that will come with the growth management study, which I think they're gonna be presenting council in December. And I can see that one being another one that will, anyway, be touchy, you might say. So it's been exciting times at counties. And I'm sure the next county's council meeting will have a full gallery too. As individual councilors, we've been getting emails and everything else. Again, I just encourage people to read the staff reports and watch the videos, make up their own mind. Okay, next we have committee of the whole, and that wasn't too bad at all. It was a short meeting. And basically, we talked about enrollment delegations. I think we came up a total of 5. So I'll wait till they're published. I think they'll publish them next meeting. But and that was about it. Now, and notice of motions during that meeting, Westport asked staff to do a study on the on basically them leaving the United Counties. So they would still belong to joint services, but be part of the county's council. So I know behind the scenes, I know Westport's been talking to Prescott and just to get some information that way. But staff is gonna come back with a report. Basically, I think maybe the advantages, disadvantages of leaving the counties. So I don't know if staff does that, but I'm surprised. But anyway, that's kind of how I read it. And then I guess the municipality of Westport will decide if they want to belong or not. So I know it's my first time in that one, so. All right. Next, South Nation Conservation and the Rita Valley Conservation Authority. A lot of changes there too, so.
Yeah, on Friday afternoon, the province announced that they're gonna make a new agency, which is gonna be under the minister, but it's gonna look after conservation authorities. And in the fine print, I was at a meeting today, guess who funds this new ministry? The municipalities. It comes out of conservation money from the municipalities to fund the new agency at the government law. And then the other part of that is they're gonna take the 36 conservation authorities, bring them down to 7 regions. So when we have conservation things to deal with, we're gonna be dealing with the agency from Kingston to the Quebec border. It'll just be a massive agency, and that the bigger the bureaucracy, usually the slower the results. I think the province is gonna go the same route as what they did with consolidating the health agencies, and that's just been a disaster. We'll have to wait and see.
Any comments?
So that's gonna have like a major impact because the conservation, they do, septics and all that, do they not?
Yep.
So that's,
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah. Don't know if they're gonna still have those services, or if the septic's gonna be run out of one agency, planning will probably be out of one separate agency, so it'll be a huge impact for municipalities. And the agents, South Nation Rideau right now, mostly funded by Ottawa, so they have 4 counselors on board from Ottawa. And yes, Ottawa gets looked after a little bit quicker, but still, they do their timelines. But now this new agency will have to look after not only Ottawa, but Cornwall and Kingston. So 2 more cities added onto it, and that's gonna be the priority. It's a few.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Recreation committees, called Deputy Mayor Winans, and then Councillor Pinkston. And Councillor Bowman.
Well, I was at a conference in Toronto for the Conservation Authority, so I missed North Augusta Rec Committee.
Okay. Councillor Payne?
Sure, so your worship, we had a Roebuck meeting 2 weeks ago almost. And just a couple updates. The rec department has planted a number of trees by arbor. They replenished the gardens with mulch. Not that we're talking much about gardens or the weather that's out there right now. They also have internet at the hall now, not fiber yet, but it's coming. But it is available, so if you're paying attention to this and you want to book there and the internet's been holding you back, it's there. And then the big news is for the first time in Lori, how many years?
Oh, it's gotta be 5 or more.
So in at least 5 years, Roebuck Community Hall presents New Year's Eve dance on New Year's Eve, featuring Eddie and the Stingrays from 8:30 till 12:30 a.m. There's gonna be a hot and cold buffet at 10 p.m. The tickets are $55 per person. They're available at Colonial Flowers in Brockville, or call Lori. And we'll have the information up on our social media, and I believe in the quarterly as well, it's going out. So lots of opportunities, and it's nice to see a New Year's Eve event coming back to the township.
Next, oh, sorry. Councilor Bowman.
Through your worship, at the last MERC meeting, they had their AGM. They had 16 people attending. They also had their Halloween party. It was a great success. They had 100 kids, and they did a lot through the trails about scaring people and stuff like that. It was a great success. Last Saturday night, they did the good, the bad, and the ridiculous. I haven't heard how that has gone. And then on December 7th, their Christmas party from 2 to 4.
Okay, next we have the public library, so Councilor Bowman on the library.
Through your worship, the next meeting for the library is the 17th. They have a volunteer appreciation night on November 20th at 7 p.m. So any available counselors and that would like to attend. It's November 20th at 7. They're also doing a bake and good sale. Sorry, I just have to bring it up there. So it's a book and bake sale Saturday, November 29th from 10 to 1. And they're looking for donations from people that would like to bake and donate it back for them to sell for funding for the library. And if anybody's interested in baking and that for them, they could drop it off that day at 9. They are also down in the new year. They're going to be down 2 board members. So they're looking for board members. They're looking to fill probably, they'd like around 2 to 4 new board members. And they're looking for someone with any financial background or any person that has Mr. Fix-It or whatever that can do maintenance and stuff like that.
Good. Any questions? Okay, on to Economic Development Tourism Advisory Committee, Councilor Fate.
Yes, thanks again, you, Richard. So really, once again, want to congratulate all the winners and nominees from Friday's Business and Community Awards. It was an incredibly well-attended event. Nothing but great comments. Thanks to staff for setting it all up on Thursday. I would have been there, but unfortunately I was on a flight back from Winnipeg. But yeah, it was definitely, every year, the comments about the breakfast are always very positive, and it's nice to see that that continues. I think we're growing out of the venue, which is a good problem to have. Yeah, so we announced as part of the awards event that the community discussion is now open. So there are forms here in the lobby, and you can access the link to do the survey on the website. So it's 2 different surveys, one for visitors to the township and one's for residents of the township, just to give feedback on what we can do better, what's working, and that kind of thing. So, I think it runs till, what's the end date on that one?
December 31st.
December 31st. So it runs till December 31st. So early in the new year, we'll have some information that we'll bring back to council and see what information we get, and hopefully we get a good turnout. So hopefully, it gives enough people a chance to check it out and see what people say.
Any questions for Councilor Britton? Oh, that's good. Okay, Planning Advisory Committee, Deputy Mayor.
And we didn't have a meeting, there was no services, so we have, next meeting coming, there will be.
Great. So, when the staff reports, 30.1, report 2025-113, monthly building activity report, for September. And, be resolved, the council received the building department's monthly activity report for information as outlined in staff report 2025-112. Deputy Mayor Winans, will you move the motion?
So moved.
Councilor Pate, will you second the motion?
I will.
Are there any comments, questions regarding the report? $3 million difference. Building. Consists of a bit of everything, you might say. A demolition, we got single dwellings, sheds, garages, a lot of garages. I see another one going up today. So anyway, it's, yeah, we know our building inspector has been busy, so. Although, when you look at the permit cost in 2025, this year, $72,000 compared to 10 million. But you look at 7 million in 2024, it was only 69, only difference of $3,000.
Going the right way, man.
That's going the right way, yeah, so, but, anyway, that's not the important thing. The important thing is the amount of work being done.
Well, the permits are supposed to offset the building.
Yeah, and it does.
Yeah, it's supposed to, it's not quite, so it's supposed to be revenue neutral.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call the question, all in favor? Carried, yeah. Next, we have report 2025-113, a budget variance report. I'll read the motion. Be it resolved that council received the statement of revenues and expenses as of October 31st, 2025, and attached to staff report 2025-113 for information purposes. Deputy Mayor, will you move the motion?
That's so moved.
Council Bowman, will you second the motion?
I will.
Are there any comments, questions regarding the report? Yeah, Councilor, Pate.
Now it's actually Michelle.
Oh, sure. I thought you had your hand up. Oh, yeah.
I really like this. It's some good information. I do have some questions. Yeah, under Public Works overhead. I called and talked to Shannon, so he kind of gave me some information about it, but what is overhead?
Thank you through you, Mayor. So overhead officially is, pretty much your office type stuff, salaries, wages, benefits, shop supplies, health and safety, postage, computer expense, pretty much everything not on the road, no plowing, no manual labor.
Okay. So could we maybe rename that?
we could
That
do
was really confusing overhead. I was thinking it was something totally not in that line of perspective. Then I also have a question under planning and developing. Economic development. We have 144. What's like, why is that left? What is it used for? What are we waiting on or?
So through you, Mayor, still a few things left in there. We're waiting on a feasibility study to be completed. Not sure of the timing on that.
Well, hopefully in the next week or two.
Next week or two.
Okay,
There's still some, event type spending to be done there, business of the year and whatnot, that of course just happened.
Okay.
Wasn't captured, through October 31st.
and then I just have over under capital expenses, park and recreation, the 135. We haven't used any year to date.
So it's my understanding that 35,000 was set aside for Project Nova. It's yet to be completed. And 100 of that was, essentially a journal entry for an unfunded, outlay to our recreation sites, the CCRF project.
Great, thanks, Steve.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, see ya.
If I may, if council doesn't have anything, I want to at least recognize the work that Steve has put into this. I think council can appreciate the, not only is he providing numbers, but he's providing some commentary on some of the variances that you're seeing without. And I've seen them over the last month or so, sitting down with department heads and going through and making sure that what you're seeing today is a true snapshot of what our finances are as of the end of October. And I think this is something that council can expect to see moving forward, and I think department heads moving forward, so that we can make sure that if we're getting close to numbers, that we can get ahead of it rather than being reactive. So I think kudos to Steve.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoyed it. I mean,
Just one question here, administration department, large budget remaining. It says that you're gonna continue, you expect to do work inside the office this year? Is that still expected, or are you gonna move it out, or? Yeah,
Yeah, so we just got the final drawings back. We really want to take care of the security door. It's been brought up that from Health and Safety Committee for a number of years, so that's going to be kind of our first phase one is putting in a secure door, not only to protect staff, but make sure that don't get residents that are just roaming the hallways and stuff like that. So that's our goal, is to have that done. That's coming from the modernization funding, so if we don't spend it all this year, we'll just stay in the reserve for next year, so.
so. Okay, yeah, I was trying to get the relationship we talked about in our finance committee meeting, reference the interest and taxes falling behind. And when I look at the revenues, look at penalty and taxes, I just see 16,000 remaining. Am I reading that wrong, or like 16,000 and we budgeted 100? So I guess what I'm saying is you were stating that it was by you, but someone was stating that it's better to have the lull in taxes and gain a bigger interest than the cash flow. Well, if you're only talking $16,000, I don't think that's a cash flow. So where do I see that on here?
So I guess the difference there, the budgeted amount of $100,000 was based in anticipation of the overall taxes receivable going down. And although we have ramped up our collection efforts and looked after a number of the older receivables, current year taxes receivable have risen more than we had anticipated, which I think is sort of showing in the number here and the additional revenue that we hadn't really expected last year. Probably a number of factors with that, the economy, tougher times on the residents. So that's, again, Ann has done some good work to get the older receivables cleared, but we do have an unexpected rise in some of the more current arrears this year.
And that was my fear all along, so I think we should discuss it next meeting we have, but, I think there's gotta be like a limit, because or else it's gonna creep up. And I still don't buy having the cash flow and having I don't know, anyway, but that's your department. But I still think we should look at it next meeting. Did anybody else have any questions on anything? Yeah,
Can I just get some clarification from you, Mayor? So when you talk about cash flows, you're talking about the interest income versus the interest and penalties? Okay, because we're referring to the penalties on taxes, but,
yeah, I just read that now.
Okay, so it's the interest income
But
that
I
you're talking.
sparked a queue there.
Okay, perfect. Just want to get clarification. That's all.
Yeah. So, yeah, the interest on it.
Alternatively, the interest on our money, yes, has definitely come in lower than expected,
Yeah, so,
based on a few things. I mean, part of it is not collecting some of the current amounts owing.
yeah, sorry for the confusion.
No, that's okay.
I was thinking one thing and looking at another.
And I think the other piece is that in the past, rather than spending our money on the capital projects, we would keep that money in the bank account and we would carry it over to future years. Now, when departments are budgeting for capital work, it's getting done in that same year, which means we're expending all of our cash. Right, so that we're not seeing that large balance in there that's earning interest. So it's finding that right balance, right? We want to make sure that we're doing everything that we say we're going to do in the budget. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but if we continue to keep that large balance, that's great. We're earning interest, but work's not getting done.
Yeah, and, right,
Right?
there's gotta be some sort of line.
It's right.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Where does that line fit? You know, so that we all know, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Any other questions? I guess the last one, seeing it's budget here, when is our first budget meeting? CAO.
So at our strategic planning session meeting, we had last week, week, 2 weeks ago, with senior staff. We had a great day of discussing everything regarding, right now, February 2nd or 3rd as our first budget meeting. We want to try and capture, Councillor Bowman before she leaves on holidays. So, we want to try and do a little bit earlier and then hopefully if everything goes well, bring it to council in that first meeting in February to pass the bylaws. So our goal is to have that package to council by, I think as soon as we get back from Roma, have that so at least council has it for a good week and a half to 2 weeks before our budget meeting. So
Yeah, because I know there's still a few things, you know, reading Edwards Red Cardinal too, they're looking at 2%.
Yeah.
Again, they don't know the OPP costs, which have gone up 11%.
Yep.
They don't know, other grants coming in either, so,
well, yeah, the one thing we will know right now is that we know OSIF has gone down slightly,
yeah.
but OMPF went up about 70,000, so which is about 1%. So, which is a good news story, but certainly we're uncertain about the OPP. I think that's the biggest unknown right now is where is that going? Because as we all know, before the government came in last year to provide some support, we were looking at about 18%. So.
Yeah. And please don't pick February 2nd or something, that's Groundhog Day. I don't want another day like last year. For budget.
I think we were looking at the Monday, I think it was, whatever that Monday is. Because we didn't want to do it on Valentine's Day again.
You work around our schedule.
You tell my grandkids that.
Anyways, we're hoping to get some dates out probably by the end of the week with the council, just so you guys can pencil it in or let us know if it works or not.
April 1st always works.
Yeah.
And the whole point of trying to get budget done early is so that staff then can get working on getting their tenders out earlier so that we can get better pricing and stuff too, and get things completed, right? So.
All right, good.
Okay.
We'll be looking towards that 1.5%. A good report. Thank you, Steve. No other questions. I'll call the question. All in favor? Favor. Yeah. Next, we have 1.3, report 2025-114, senior survey results. I'll read the motion. Be it resolved that council accept the results from the 2025 seniors survey as attached staff report 2025-114 for information. Councillor Pape, will you move the motion?
Yes, I will.
Deputy Mayor Watson, you second the motion?
I will.
Are there any comments, questions regarding the report? Yeah,
It's a good report. It shows what our seniors are interested in and if we can get a grant, that would be awesome.
anybody else? I enjoyed going through it. It's a good report. I totally agree. I wasn't surprised at the demographics, 65 to 74, or as an age group. Female, the gender is filled it out, I guess. I can see the wives doing it. And, looking at some of the information and going down through it. Just going through here, because I read through it the other day. And, yeah. The thing with the Walker House, I noticed that came up in here too again. No, so Kathleen, and we, not asking you to do it, I'm just asking you, has there been any talk from Prescott, Edwardsburg Cardinal, or us reference Walker House?
That our CAO would do.
Yeah.
So I am working right now on a recreation agreement that would be executed with the town of Prescott and with the Edwardsburg Cardinal. As council knows, we right now pay about $18,000 every year to Edwardsburg Cardinal. And it's supposed to cover basically out-of-town fees for our residents to be able to use the arenas and stuff like that. We don't have one for Prescott right now, so we're working on having one that is the same, but two separate agreements. And the talk is about maybe adding the Walker House into our contribution, so our residents then can utilize that place without paying any more fees than Prescott is.
Oh, good. Okay. Any other questions? No, a lot of the answers were, I figured, what they would see. Being a senior myself. So, no, that was a good report. It's good to have that information. Yeah, see it.
I think the other thing too is, although it's a small number of people, I think it's a good small sample size that at least tells Kathleen as far as some of the needs that are out there for our seniors. And if there's opportunities that we can capture on grants or collaboration with other municipalities or organizations, having that information readily available does help. So it's a good initiative. At least it gives her some information.
No? I don't think we ever had that before, have we? Oh, well, we're doing. Okay, call question, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Next we have 11.4, summer day camp 2025 result. Or even motion be resolved, the council directs staff to proceed with. They gave us three options, but we'll talk about it first. For the summer day camp program for the 2026 season and budget as outlined in staff report 2025-115. Councillor Pate, will you move the motion?
Yes, sir.
Councillor Bowman, will you second the motion? Are there any questions regarding the report? Oh, Councillor Bowman?
First of all, it's not that I don't want this. But if we accept this now, we can't cut it in the future. For me, I don't feel comfortable going ahead with this today until we see more of our budget numbers. These are really high numbers. And me as a resident, if I'm looking at this, 34,000, 66,000 in the hole. I know it's not something where we're gonna make lots and lots of money. But when we look at these numbers as potential losses that we can have, for me, I think I would feel more comfortable if we deferred this till closer to budget time. So we have a better grasp on the whole budget. I understand that this has probably been brought forward because they need to start on all this kind of stuff, but I just don't feel comfortable with these numbers at this time.
Councillor, Deputy Mayor?
I feel the same as Michelle, and I would support that defer until we find out our budget numbers. Because at 137,000, that's 2% tax increase.
Councillor Pate?
So your worship, first of all, it is a good report. And I mean, it's nice to see the feedback and that it has been a success. That said, I do agree with the other two, and that's the fact that, I mean, we know it's not a moneymaker. I don't think it ever will be. I don't think it was ever designed to be. But at this point, especially after last year's budget, I don't think that it's prudent to make that decision today. I think we need to wait and see where all the other numbers sit before we can even make an honest decision about how to proceed with this. That's my 2 cents.
I'll give you my 2 cents going last. I think we should pick option 3. My reasons is, when I looked at this, and Lindsay and I talked about it there quickly before the meeting. If you look at the demographics, 43% of that is from the township of Augusta. 34% are from Brockville. So now we realize they may be on the outskirts of Brockville. I have a Brockville address, but still in Augusta, the same as I have a Prescott address, but I'm in Augusta. But I don't think so. I think a lot of them are Brockville people coming here because it's such a short distance. And I don't think we should wait till budget time. Like the deputy mayor said, it's gonna be 1.5%. Are you saying we have free money at budget time? I'm saying, no, we don't. In fact, I think we should be very cautious on how much money we really should have. So, anyway, my thought is to do option 3 and defer it. I'm sorry, but, I'd love nothing more, but we can't take that loss, especially when we're starting to buckle down. And I don't know, I think it's gonna be harder for staff if we push it off to budget time, say, hey, guys, try to fit it in. I think we gotta decide what's priority, because they're not gonna have extra money, I'll tell you that. So, anyway, that's my point of view on that.
And there's other areas in the past that, like departments that don't get stuff because of we've given a lot of money to recreation over the last 3 or 4 years. Some of it is partially our fault because we haven't been maintaining our buildings and stuff like that. But I just have a hard time with this.
The report is good. Pictures, like them. I do feel sorry if we don't go ahead with this for the staff. Usually college, university students coming in. I know it's always difficult. You had a very good crew this year, but you gotta look at finances and between the loss of finances, the demographics where I think it is, and I'm just not sold on it. So CAO.
Just a few comments just from the discussion. So, I'd like to make note that we're not looking at $137,000. If you look at the revenue less the expenses, the net cost would be 34,000 with option 1, 66,000 with option 2. So it's 0.5% and 1%. That is based on, of course, getting the full number of our registrants. But the one thing I certainly respects council decision on what they want to do, but the one thing I will leave you to think about is, although those numbers might seem large, if we look at some of the projects that we're currently working on right now, bringing new housing into this area, wanting to get young families into this area, what type of services will they be looking for when they're looking at relocating to this area? And I think although it loses money, it's no different than an arena. It's no different than another facility where you lose money, but for council, it needs to be is what are you comfortable on losing? And I think that's the question that you guys need to look at is what's your comfort level?
Again, I agree, if we have more families than that, but maybe that's something that we relook at that time.
Yeah, I totally agree with CAO, but I'm 2 years, 3 years, we've got people moving in, absolutely, but we're not gonna have any movement on that next year, so, yeah.
I mean, I think at this point, we have a solid framework. I don't think that it'd be too difficult to spin something up again down the road. Maybe if, we have a large benefactor that suddenly moves into the township and things are a little bit more stable financially. But I think at this point, I think the consensus seems to be that we just don't move forward for next year. And again, I mean, the framework's there, I think the foundation's there. When things are a little bit different or the need arises, I don't think it would take much to start it back up.
Like I said, very good report, pictures, a lot of data. You've given us all the information there, but just when I look at things and the year we're in and the year we're facing, I personally just can't justify it. So anyway, I'm only one vote, so. So motion was on to pick an option, either 1, 2, or 3, or A, B, C, whatever it was, but. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
So CAO, how much difference does it make if we defer it? How much is it on staff? Is it a big problem or is it not a big problem? So we defer to budget time.
I think it's not that big of an issue if we defer. I think a couple things is that we're late on getting out of the gate when we talk about advertising. And B is that, out right now is our Canada Summer Jobs and Summer Experience. So we have to apply for summer students. So we need to kind of know our numbers now. It's not saying we can't apply for it, and if we don't get it, that we can just turn the money down. But certainly I'll leave that up to council on which way you want to go. I think in the end, if council is of the opinion that they don't like the numbers, then I would rather council just say now, option 3, and at least we know the direction rather than, waiting 2 more months for the same answer. That's my opinion.
So I'm for option 3.
Same here. No, I'll second that, or I'll agree, whatever.
Yeah, I think we all want this to happen, but again, it was the demographics, and, I was toying with the financial part, but when I look at demographics, and I'm saying, yeah, I can see that a lot of people coming from Brockville. And is that really helping us any? So, but the information's right, which I believe it is. So. All right, I vote also option 3 is.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, yes,
Just one more thing. You mentioned certainly, you look at the results of like 43% are from Augusta, and you've got 12 or so from Prescott. And as you said, Mayor, 34% are from Brockville. This year, we did increase the fee. So we did increase an additional $50 for out of town. So another option for council to consider is if you're worried about those numbers, we could certainly increase the out of town fee even more, which would reduce the cost slightly, but that's just a thought for council as well too.
but I think realistically, look at those costs, I don't know what sort of family can afford that.
And that's where if you go too high, then what you do is you jeopardize those people that now can't afford.
Yeah, so say a family of 2 children coming from Brockville, what would that be a week?
Was it 250, I think it was, so be 500 a week. If you increased it to say even another $50 each, you're looking at $600 a week for 2 kids.
Wow.
Yes, they're paying that through their child care anyways, usually.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, depending where their child would go. Yeah,
If they go in Brockville, that is what they will pay, if not more.
yeah, at an approved center or whatever, yeah. So, I mean, my kids never went to a friend, so anyway, that's still a lot of money. I don't care. That's wow.
It's certainly council's decision, that's all.
Yeah. No, I think we made our decision. Especially with the kids. All right, so first make me read again. Be resolved that council directs staff to proceed with option 3 for the summer day camp program for the 2026 season, and budget is outlined in staff report 2025-115. I'll call the question, all in favor? There, thank you. Good report. Maybe too good. But no, it was good. He said the hardest part is the students, but they know ahead enough. If they know this far ahead, then they'll find work elsewhere. Okay, next, notice of motion. I don't believe there is any. And bylaws, no bylaws. Announcements. I got one, just, this Thursday, I believe it's Thursday. Anyway, 7 PM, Maison Maitland, which is in Maitland. That's the, where, trying to think of her name, sorry. What's her,
Cynthia.
Cynthia. They're actually doing a television show there, taping, the first taping of it. And I know I've been invited, I think the CAL's been invited. But it's only by invitation. This is their first taping, so I don't know if it's a regular thing carrying on. It has to do with French cooking,
French cuisine or something like
French
that.
cuisine, yes.
Yeah.
So I know I'm attending.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe they'll feed us afterwards, I don't
Get a
know.
baguette or something, it'll be fine.
No. But it's nice to see, them doing a show like that, in the Maitland area, so, well, that's good. Also, we have our, volunteer appreciation night. This goes out to all the volunteers in the township. And that will be, my date, November 27th.
Yep.
Yep, we're doing 2 sessions, one at 10 o'clock in the morning to noon. Just for people to drop in, have a coffee, chat, and just a time for us to thank them. We picked the morning because that's good for the seniors. They don't have to drive at night. And then we doing it again at night from 7 to 9, I believe. And, well, that'll be open to be at the Maitland, Chart House. It's been renovated. So, anyway, it's where we're gonna hold it. So we encourage everybody in the township who volunteers for sports, committees, whatever. We'll be getting the word out, I hope, so, anyway, we'll see what sort of crowds we have. May have 10 people, may have 300 people, who knows? So, anyway, just a way of saying thank you. Help me try something different. So, yeah,
And was there an appreciation gift going to be given out, you said?
I didn't say, but yes, I believe there is, yeah. Yeah, if you're there. Yeah.
If you're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I don't know if this is the right time to say this, but I'd just like to say thank you to my fellow counselors and all the staff for all the support and, well wishes and texts and messages and stuff like that through my journey, and the new cup and the gift certificate. Thank you for all your support.
We're just glad you're here.
And Rochelle, thanks to you, we also got a Yeti mug because Eddie said, what do we have to do? It's sick. Thanks to you, we all got one.
All right, that's a team player.
Yeah.
I've never seen a council in bad shape between knees, hearts, I don't know what else. Yeah,
Just a few announcements. So, the Christmas parade, Prescott, next Friday. 21st, is it week from this Friday?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna need to figure out sooner than later what we're doing, for that. Also too, we got, the Giving Tree campaign, which we're going to do again this year too. So we're working with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I believe this is probably their last year doing it. So we'll be looking at, support again to, provide for kids who are less fortunate families. So.
reference to Christmas parade in Prescott, we usually volunteer Councilor Henry for that, so I don't see why not, we'll just do that anyway.
You're not here tonight,
Not
so
here
we can
tonight.
certainly volunteer. Yep.
I know, Public Works Manager said that Mark Dawson would loan us his trailer.
So through the chair, yes, that wagon is sitting in my backyard. It was brought in yesterday morning for you guys.
Thank you very much.
You guys give me the heads up, it'll be in the shop nice and warm, so you can work on it.
So, yeah, it's the day of the summit though,
Yes.
so any decorating is gonna have to be done
Before.
before that.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can certainly talk internally and then,
Yeah.
we'll reach out to council and see if we can pick even an afternoon or something like that where we can get there and start decorating and stuff. I've already started to pick up the candy canes and stuff like that. So we've got those going as well too, so.
Okay.
And the new staff have to wear the blow ups this year as well too, so.
Any other announcements? Yes.
Through your worship, I'd just like to announce that the Augusta Fire Association is teaming up with the Kinsman Club with their snowshoe drive. So snowsuits can be dropped off at, the station in Maitland, the township office here, and also at Repels in North Augusta. And if you go to our Facebook, site, it talks about what they're really needing, what sizes and stuff like that. So, you know, anybody that's listening out there, please, let's help some kids get, some warm clothing.
Good, thank you. Yes, Councilor Baker.
Your worship, and I actually asked CAO, I believe, you probably should make a mention, I think it's something the 29th that we're gonna be doing our little walkabout.
Whatever that Saturday is, I want to say it's the 28th.
28th, that's the Saturday after the parade, correct?
Yes, I think we were looking at doing the,
29th.
29th is a Saturday. 29th, we'll be looking at doing the food bank where we go around to, Riverview Heights and Maitland and all that stuff. So
Yeah, so that,
our plan is get something out very shortly here, and people who can't make it, or aren't gonna be around, if they can either A, leave it outside in a bag, or they can drop it off to the township office throughout the week and stuff like that. So we certainly recognize that not only do we want to provide as much food as we can for the food bank, we want that trophy back where it belongs, which is home here, right? So
have we given any thought to possibly approaching Dixon's and maybe Dairy Barn to put it in at their locations?
absolutely, that's certainly something.
You know, I think that's something that, you know, so they don't have to come all the way to the
Yep,
top. Your box.
absolutely.
Multiple different dropping points. and,
Yep.
You know, all the more reason to get that trophy back.
Yeah, I believe the mayor got a letter from the food bank, or actually, I think the clerk has that now on their dates and stuff like that, so we'll chat internally and then get that out to council just.
Yeah,
for you
whatever
guys.
you do to get that trophy.
Lots of tables.
Yeah, exactly right. But she does have in her letter this year as far as what each dollar contributes to and how much weight and stuff, so there's a little bit of a formula, so.
I'll let you guys do the math.
Absolutely.
Steven can help with that.
There you go, exactly. So we'll get all those dates, because we know that November is, well, we're already 10 days into it, but we know that from now till Christmas, it gets very busy for everybody, so we'll certainly make sure we get the pizza.
I just have one announcement. The Kinsman Spirit of Giving tables are going to be out at Giant Tiger and your independent grocer. So if you see people sitting at the table, it'd be kindly if they can donate to that, because all that money will go towards the Kinsman with their campaign giving.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, so there's a lot of giving this time of year. I know I got a letter from the Salvation Army today, so. And I always support them this time of year too, so. All right. So, yeah,
Just one more thing, from your comment at the very beginning about the spirit of giving that we did. It wasn't that we won based on the amount of food, it was the most cheer we had.
almost
The
cheer.
most cheer we had, and we smoked Prescott and Eversburg Cardinal, just saying.
Okay, moving on. Any questions on the agenda items from the public? Okay, hear nothing. Any questions on the agenda from the press? I don't think anybody's online. We do have a closed meeting tonight, as per section 239 of the municipal act. So I'll read the motion. Be resolved that council moved into a closed session at, say, 6:20 PM. To discuss matters pertaining to approval of the previous closed session minutes of October 14th, 2025, and matters under section 239, brackets 2, brackets B, personal matters about identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, specifically municipal board composition of municipal employees. Councilor Pink, will you read the motion? Will you move the motion?
Yes, I will.
Councilor Poma, will you second the motion?
I will.
All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, so you got Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I'll read the motion be resolved, the council met in closed session to approve the closed session minutes dated October 14, 2025, and to review matters pertaining to personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal, local board employees, and council, took no action beyond receiving information from staff. Deputy Mayor Winans, you will move the motion?
So moved.
Councilor Payton, will you second the motion?
I will.
Call the question, all in favor? Carried, thank you. 19, bylaw to confirm proceedings of council. I read the motion, be it resolved that bylaw number 3807-2025, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council of the Township of Augusta at its meeting held on November 10, 2025, be read a first time, second time, third time, be enacted as read. Deputy Mayor Winans, will you move the motion?
So moved.
Councilor Bowman, will you second the motion? Okay, I'll call the vote, all in favor? Carried. Adjournment. Be it resolved that this council meeting do adjourn at 7:25 PM till November 24th, 2025 at 5 PM. Or call the mayor subject to need. Councilor Payne, will you move the motion?
I will.
And Councilor Bowman, will you second motion?
I will.
I'll call the vote, all in favor? Carried. Go home.